Hola, muy buenos días a todos. Es un honor darles la bienvenida a este webinar sobre soluciones tecnológicas israelíes para la reducción de azúcar y sodio en la industria alimentaria. Hoy nos reunimos con un objetivo muy claro y es dar a conocer tecnologías innovadoras que están transformando la forma en que producimos y consumimos alimentos y que pueden representar una gran oportunidad para empresas y entidades comprometidas con la salud, la nutrición y la innovación. Israel se ha posicionado como uno de los líderes mundiales en food tech, con más de 400 startups dedicadas a revolucionar la industria alimentaria, desde ingredientes funcionales hasta métodos avanzados de procesamiento, reformulación de productos, tecnologías para la sustitución de aditivos y mejoras en el perfil nutricional de los alimentos. Este ecosistema dinámico combina ciencia, tecnología y sostenibilidad para responder a los principales desafíos del sector, como lo son la salud pública, la demanda del consumidor y el cumplimiento normativo. En esta sesión conocerán algunas de estas tecnologías que permiten reducir el contenido de azúcar y sodio sin afectar el sabor ni la experiencia del consumidor, y que además puede adaptarse a las necesidades específicas del mercado latinoamericano. Agradecemos profundamente su presencia, su interés en estas soluciones y los invitamos a aprovechar este espacio para aprender, conectar y explorar posibles alianzas con estas compañías. Bienvenidos. Antes de dar inicio, les informamos que este webinar se transmitirá en español e inglés. Si desean escuchar la presentación en español, los invitamos a dirigirse a la parte inferior de su pantalla, hacer clic en el icono con forma de globo terráqueo y seleccionar la opción español. De esta forma podrán escuchar toda la sesión en este idioma. Ahora sí, para comenzar este webinar, le damos la palabra a Yamit Itiel, jefa de la misión económica de Israel en Colombia. Yamit, la palabra es tuya.
Gracias. Good morning, everyone. It is a pleasure to welcome you on behalf of the economic missions of Israel in Colombia, Chile, Argentina, and Spain to today's webinar focused on Israeli innovations in sugar and sodium reduction. Israel stands at the forefront of global innovation with one of the most vibrant startup ecosystems, especially in the food tech sector. In this session, we will explore groundbreaking solutions from Israeli companies that integrate science, technology, and social responsibility to tackle pressing public health challenges. These innovations offer healthier food alternatives while maintaining the taste and quality that consumers expect. We extend our sincere thanks to the Israeli Export Institute for its valuable support in making this event possible. We encourage you to take full advantage of this opportunity, ask questions, connect with the speakers, and explore potential partnerships that can drive positive change in the food industry across Latin America and Spain. Let's innovate together for a healthier future. Thank you very much and enjoy the webinar.
Muchas gracias, Yamit. Les recordamos a las personas que se están conectando que si desean escuchar la presentación en español, los invitamos a dirigirse a la parte inferior de su pantalla, hacer clic en el icono con forma de globo terráqueo y seleccionar la opción español. De esta forma podrán escuchar toda la sesión en este idioma. A continuación, le damos la palabra a Nancy Aboguardi, gerente de desarrollo de negocios para el sector de alimentos del Instituto de Exportación de Israel. Nancy, la palabra es tuya.
Thank you very much. Just a second. In a second, you will see my screen.
Yes, Nancy.
Cool. Hello, everyone. My name is Nancy Abwardi, and I'm the business developer coordinator for the food tech sector at the Israeli Export Institute. And before diving into the food tech and the Israeli ecosystem, let me briefly introduce the Export Institute. So we are a nonprofit organization operating over 65 years. We are based in Tel Aviv. We are a joint venture between the Israeli government and the private sector. And we also work very closely with the economic trade missions worldwide. So our main mission is to help the Israeli companies expand globally by creating business opportunities through trade shows, delegations, B2B meetings, scoutings, and more. So now, food tech. So what is food tech? Food tech is the intersection between food and technology, not just the food itself, but the entire value chain, from agriculture and production to packaging, logistics, and even consumption and waste. It's about making food healthier, more sustainable, and more efficient. So the food tech goes across the entire food value chain, as you can see in my screen. The industry is driven by 8 main categories. We have the alternative protein, sugar reduction, supply chain, smart packaging, novel ingredients, safety and control, and so on. But because unfortunately due to time, I won't dive into them. But these are the engine of this industry. So if we look at the investments in the Israeli companies over time, there was a consistent growth up till year 2021 in investments. And then in year 2022, it started to slow down. The same in the United States and Europe. It wasn't special for Israel, which is mirroring a global trends. Most of the investments comes from the United States, with 46% of investments from the United States and 37% from the European Union. And Israel has around 180 food tech companies. And if we look at the Israeli companies by segment, we see that the leading category or segment is alternative protein, followed by novel ingredients and health and wellness. So in terms of investments in this category, Israel is second place after the United States with over $1.2 billion, which shows that Israel is one of the leading countries in this industry. And under alternative protein, we have 4 main technologies. We have plant-based, cultivated, fermentation, and instinct-based proteins. And Israel is very proud to have active startups in all these 4 technologies. But still, it comes with challenges. We have regulation because development of a new ingredients required special regulatory approvals. Scaling up requires more expensive equipment and more professional personnel. Also, these technologies are very expensive, so the products are not always affordable for the customers. And the question, will the customer accept this product? Does it address the climate change crisis? But even though there are some challenges, there is also a lot of potential. Israel constantly striving to stay ahead and actively looking for trends. So if we're speaking about trends, we are starting to see more alternative cocoa startups who are trying to address the cocoa crisis, like supply chain disruption that is caused by climate change, rising prices, the ethnical concern related to labor. So out of the 10 global startups in this field, 2 are Israeli. We have Kokomodo and Celeste Bio. So how has Israel become a major force for disruption? So first, we have a proven track record of innovation in agriculture and biotechnology. Second, Israel is a very small company, as you know, but everyone knows one another and have a strong connection between universities and private sector, which leads to innovation. Also, Israelis are very good at thinking outside the box. So it's a quality that is very important in innovation and in food tech sector especially. And lastly, Israel as the startup nation is proven to encourage an entrepreneurial ecosystem. So this is how the Israeli food tech ecosystem looks like. It consists of academy, accelerators, investors, governments, and so on. We have more than 10 research institutions and academia that works in this field all across of Israel. We also have many accelerators and incubators. These are some of them. We have a large government support that invests through the Israeli Innovation Authority, can invest directly to the incubators or directly into the startups, R&D, or through consortiums. Here we have the different investors in the Israeli food tech ecosystem. We have the government, investment house, corporate funds, and more. And also the Israeli food companies, the big ones, are very connected to the sector and play a very important part. For example, Strauss established the kitchen incubator. We have also Tnuva with Tempo, who established Fresh Start Incubator. So everything is very connected with one another. So what are the Israeli startups looking for? So of course, they're looking for investors. They're looking for collaboration opportunities with other food companies. They're looking for sales channels like distributors, retailers, and more. And that's it. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and I hope I stayed within time.
Muchas gracias, Nancy. Ahora sí, damos paso a las presentaciones de las empresas israelíes que nos mostrarán las tecnologías que han desarrollado para la reducción de azúcar y sodio en alimentos. En primer lugar, le damos la palabra a Michael de la empresa Tree. Michael, la palabra es tuya.
Thank you very much. Allow me to share the presentation. Okay. Sorry for that. Yes. Can you all see it?
Yes.
Perfect. Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you. I'm Michael Gordon from Tree Technologies. Brief snapshot about Tree. We're a market-driven innovation. We have invented a patented technology to reduce sugar from natural beverages. We only work with natural. We have a proven technology, FDA compliant, also European compliant, and Israeli one, of course. And we are now expanding to other territories in Latin America and Southeast Asia with our technology and the regulation. We have a strong foundation. Up until now, we've raised $7.2 million US. We have a portfolio of products and successful scale-ups, industrial scale-ups, and commercial in Israel, and followed by additional in other territories. We have a scalable model, pilot to lease, that ensures profitability and fast adoption, and we have a growing pipeline of customers in the world. We are here about sugar reduction and sodium reduction. When it comes to sugar reduction, the reason why is quite known. Actually, the point that I want to raise here is that 50% out of almost half of the sugars in our diet come from drinks, and not only from soda beverages, but also natural beverages. And we all face those challenges globally. Most of them come from the beverages. And when you look at consumer habits, you can see that the per capita consumption of juices globally is declining. For example, in the US, 10 years ago, an American used to drink 9 liters of orange juice per year. Now it dropped down to 6 liters annually. When you look at the dairy market, the most growing sector is the low and zero sugar yogurts in the dairy sector. And the focus again is on low, zero sugar products. The current solutions that you might find in the markets are blending methods, something that anyone can do at their home. You take the juice or any kind of other natural beverage, you mix it with water, that's it, you reduce the amount of sugar. Other technologies involve enzymatic processes in a way. Our technology doesn't involve any additives and all. Soon I'll explain how we do it. So our competitive advantage here is that we have minor impact on taste and texture. lower regulatory requirements, and of course, clean label because we don't add anything during the process. So how we do it? So the first notion behind our technology is that we focus on disaccharides. For example, sucrose in juice. Disaccharides are typically less sweet than monosaccharides. Fructose is way more sweeter than sucrose in juices. That is why we decided to remove first the disaccharide, because it's all about the taste. So we remove the disaccharide, leaving all other ingredients intact. Actually, we don't know how to remove other ingredients. We know how to remove only sugars. And the sugar that we remove can be used for other purposes. So one stream enters our system, two streams comes out. One is the original source with less sugar, and the second one is the sugar itself that can be reused. And again, it's all about the taste. This is a comprehensive market test we did after we fully installed our technology at the manufacturing line. You can see the blue tree sugar-reduced juice and the results over here. Okay, and this is the overall attractiveness of the product standalone, and this is the overall attractiveness of the product of the regular market leader. No statistical difference between the two. Consumers could not define between the sugar-reduced one and the regular juice. When we asked them about the purchase intentions, the answer was clear. Of course, they prefer the sugar-reduced version because less calories, less sugar content in the same cup of orange juice. We started with orange juice and we are now moving very fast to milk. We signed an agreement with a dairy company to develop low to zero sugar dairy products. We've already achieved 75% sugar reduction in milk, which leads to other dairy products with no sugar at all. Our partners has already approved. They achieved zero sugar yogurt, cheese, cream cheese with our technology. Again, no additives during the process. Actually, it's not just the no additives. We are keeping the other ingredients intact. Together with the Technion Institute in Israel, we have proved stable profile of the proteins, which are most important. Again, no added water, no added enzymes, nothing was added in the process. Structure and abundance preserved, no significant change in protein activity. This is one of the most important things to the dairy industry, and we already have the okay for it from one of the leading institutes in the world. Our solution, the product itself, is a service. We install our technology at the manufacturing line, we design the solution, we integrate it, and we provide full maintenance to the solution at your manufacturing line. Actually, when you look at the footprint, we take no more than 1% of the footprint in the manufacturing site. So it's a seamless integration without interfering with your overall operations. It's a line extension that we provide to manufacturers, and we already have the experience on how to do it on an industrial scale. We have a business model that has been already validated by several manufacturers globally. There's an initial down payment for the solution. Once we integrate the system, the customer handles it by themselves, except for the preventive maintenance that includes also changing all consumables. The manufacturers pay according to a gradually decreasing pay per liter model. The more they use the system, the less they will pay per liter. And for them, it's very simple. It's a new growth driver, higher revenue per liter, and of course, less sugar in today's world in many territories means fewer taxes per liter. Our strategy is very simple. Our focus territories in juices is Latin America and Southeast Asia, where most of the juice globally is being produced. We already have agreements in several territories to continue our development in those territories. When it comes to milk, the US, Europe, and parts of Asia are highly relevant for our solution. In the future, we are planning also to enter the beer category, as we already had successful tests with large beer companies.
1 minute.
In our investors, in our cap table, you will find Israeli investors, but also global investors, leading dairy company in Israel, one of the largest commodity supplier of sugar in the world, Sudan, and also private investors. We have finalized the EIT program with excellence and also award-winning of KM0 and European agency. Thank you very much, and I look forward to continue the discussion in Colombia since it's one of our strategic territories. Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias, Michael, por tu presentación. A continuación, le damos la palabra a Dagi de la empresa BT Suite. Dagi, adelante. Sorry, we can't hear you. Dagi?
Dagi, you're mute.
You're muted.
No, Dagi, we can't hear you.
Yeah, I don't. Sorry, I lost my presentation. It was. Let me take me a second. I'm sorry about that. I cannot load it. Sorry about it. Let's stay without it. Sorry. Okay. As I say, I don't want to waste your time. My name is Dagi Pekach, and I am the founder and the chairman of Cambia. Unfortunately, I'm the one who has to show the company now. This is the first time for me, to be honest, that I'm presenting the company. Usually I'm doing it. The CEO, Yossi Keret, is out today and he couldn't enjoy, so I will try to do my best. I am a bit excited, so I hope that you will forgive me. Okay, so we succeeded to develop Cambia, and Cambia is I'm sorry, let's start with the sugar market. The sugar market is about 200 million tons a year, and the sugar replacement is about 25 million tons a year. We are trying to compete in the sugar replacement. We believe that we succeed to make a very simple product. We are replacing sugar by Cambia 1-to-1. We are 100% natural, no aftertaste, low calories, zero glycemic value, and we are safe to you for using, and we are support health, we believe. As I say, we can either replace 100% sugar, or we can reduce sugar from 1% up to 100%. Everyone can choose as much as he wants to reduce. 1%, 20%, 50%, 89.3, 22.7. Everyone can choose his decision, and we can be more or less sweet than sugar, from zero sweetness up to 4 times sweet than sugar. We are using fibers and monk fruit, and we have a special production way. to achieve our succeed. And we believe, because we are using fibers, I believe that we are quite attractive and we are recommended to use. We had very good experience with ice cream, with cookies, with gummies, with the sauces like ketchup, health bars, drinks, and many other more things. We believe that our product is ready. We are ready for market, and we are integrated very good with sugars, as I said, so we can replace as much as we want. And I think that that's the most important things that I can tell you. If you will have any questions, we will be happy. Alina, our technologist, is with us, and she will be happy to give you any information about how we are doing or what we are doing. And I think that that's it for the meantime.
Perfecto, Dagui, muchísimas gracias por tu presentación. Ahora continuamos con Guy Pfefferman de la empresa Landa Labs. Guy, adelante.
Hi, everybody. Thank you. My name is Guy Pfefferman, and I'm from Landa Labs. Landa Labs is the innovation app of the Landa Group. We develop disruptive technologies. Some of our technologies has been acquired by the companies like L'Oreal, Henkel, and Actega, and some of the technologies that we develop have been spun out to separate companies. But today I came to talk about sodium and sodium reduction. Everybody knows that overconsumption of salt can lead to high blood pressure, heart disease, and strokes. Average sodium intake for adults is twice than the recommended level. It means that every one of us needs to reduce 50% in its sodium consumption. The CDC estimates that about almost 2 million deaths a year are directly associated with excessive sodium consumption. So everybody wants to reduce sodium, but the food industry has yet to find a single solution that enables high sodium reduction at the same flavor, at low cost, and with a clean label. Basically, everybody wants to reduce sodium, nobody wants to compromise on the flavor, and nobody wants to pay too much for it. That's why everyone is stuck. And that's why we developed LOP. LOP is our disruptive technology that enables high sodium reduction while keeping the same flavor. Some of the advantages of our technology that it enables up to 60% sodium reduction. It's based on pure sodium chloride, so there is no flavor change. It has clean label, single ingredient. It's a one-to-one swap. You take out your salt you're currently using and just put our salt. No need for a label change. It has a low cost, and it has a low cost. How do we do all this? By working with high aspect ratio, 100% pure sodium chloride flakes. Flakes are particles that are very big, but also very thin. Here you can see left side is our salt particles, right side is normal salt. And you can see that our salt particles look very, very different. Our salt particles are between 30 to 300 times thinner than normal salt. Salt sensation is proportional to how fast the salt dissolves in your mouth. If an average person chew the food for a few seconds, if during the time that you chew the food, the salt didn't have enough time to dissolve, you actually consume the sodium without being translated to salt sensation. You can experience it for yourself. Take a big chunk of cooking salt, put it into your mouth, and swallow it immediately. It will feel a little bit salty, but you actually swallow most of the sodium without being translated to salt sensation in the brain. And as I said, faster dissolution rate means higher salt sensation. Here you can see the solution rate test of table salt versus Cargill fine flake salt versus our salt. So you can see that in terms of the solution rate, we are about 10 times faster than table salt and about 4 times faster than Cargill fine flake salt. And in terms of sodium reduction, we are about 60% sodium reduction compared to table salt and about 40% sodium reduction compared to Cargill fine flake salt. Another unique aspect that we have is log bile density. Each tube here contains the same amount of salt, 2 grams. Left side is our salt, right side is table salt. And you can see immediately that it seems that there is much more salt on the left tube. This is because of the low bulk density. Here you can see how does it look from top view. Each plate here contains the same amount of salt, 0.1 gram. Left side is our salt, right side is table salt. And you can see immediately that it seems that there is much more salt on the left plate. And this is because our unique particle shape. Particle that is very big, but also very thin. And now imagine that you have like a potato chip snack, for example, and you want to achieve uniform surface coverage over the potato chip surface. So you can understand it is much more easy to do it with a low bulk density salt. Here you can see how does it look on the potato chip snack, for example. On the first look, you might think that there is a lot of salt on the surface. But actually, because those particles are very big, but also very thin, in terms of salt or sodium, there isn't much salt on the surface. So the combination of uniform surface coverage, together with the fact that it's a thin, low mass, and highly bulk soluble salt layer, enables a high sodium reduction. Our technology is also applicable to many more materials, sodium diacetate, sodium bicarbonate, and many other materials. So where we are in currently, we have a running pilot line. We got regulatory approval for mass production, and now we are running multiple evaluation processes with some of the biggest global food and ingredients companies, and we are expecting to launch this year the first salty snack using our salt with one of those big global companies. And that's it. Thank you. This is my email. If you have any question or you want some sample or anything else, feel free to take a screenshot and reach out. Thank you all.
Muchas gracias, Guy, por tu presentación. Seguimos con la empresa O-Taste, representada por Meiki. Meiki, tienes la palabra.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so we are asking, can food be sweet, tasty, and healthy? And at the same time, we will ask later on, can food be salty, tasty, and healthy? But so this is where sorry. We created a milling company, which is the only way to taste product. It all started with the sugar problem that we all know, where people are consuming way too much sugar compared to what they need, and we all know this $1 trillion problem around the world that is growing by the minute. But sugar is not a real enemy. Sugar is needed in our body, is essential for our life. So what is the real problem? The problem is that there are no solutions. The solutions that are out there are either not tasty or not healthy or both. So then we come to the big question, can food be sweet, tasty, and healthy? And we are proving that it can be. So here on the left, you see that there is a Nutella jar with 56% sugar. And here is our barley jar, which have 80% less sugar and deliver a similar sweet taste. So how do we do it? We were thinking outside of the box here, and we were thinking that if you go and you mill the sugar from 500 micron to the 5 micron level, you get the surface that will deliver to you all the taste, but you don't get the glycemic load that you don't need. But when you are milling sugar to the level of 5 micron, it becomes a powder that is actually hazard, and it's dangerous even to use. It can explode. So what we created, we went with it and we created a delivery system, which is based on oil, which oil already exists in food. So you have sugar or salt that you are mixing together with the oil through the milling process, and this is the patented process that we created and write it all over the world. So the outcome is an ingredient that is 50 times sweeter than normal sugar, with no chemicals, no substitutes. It's the same sugar that you people love. They just get the amount that they need for the sensation of taste, and they don't get all the overload that they don't need. So we deliver it through microsuspension in oil, and it's ideal for fatty food out there. So we took it and we tested it with the Diabetic Association, and we proved that the glycemic load, you see us on the white here, on the white line here, our product do not create a glycemic load for the consumer. So the O-suite applications can go to any product when there is a food and sugar, and we are reducing the amount of sugar needed in all these foods that you see here. And we can show you a couple of applications like cookies that you get the same taste, the same texture. It's a great product while you get 37% less sugar on this application. Or you get a chocolate spread that can be 80% less sugar or 50% less sugar, depends on how sweet you want it to be, but you reduce a significant amount of sugar while delivering the same taste. Now we need to remember that the biggest challenge in the food industry is that taste wins. Taste is king. It's all about taste. So all the artificials, all the substitute do not deliver the same taste, and this is where they fail, and this is where they become a niche. Our innovation brings you the same sugar that you love. It's clean label. We don't add anything to it. So there's no aftertaste. It's just the same sugar, the same taste that you love. We deliver to you. Just you need less of it to get the sensation of the taste that you love and enjoy. Taking the same innovation, we went with it to the salt world, and we went through the same process of taking salt and oil, mixing it together, taking it through our wet micro milling patented process, and achieving an ingredient that without artificials, without chemicals, suspension in oil, and it's a product that is perfect for all the salty snacks in the world, all the nuts. It's fantastic for direct frying. You can do French fries with it, with half of the sodium. And the cost in our application, the cost is parity. Parity, sometimes we even bring a lower cost because of better operations and more efficient operation that we bring to the manufacturers. So you can see applications that you can do with O-Salt here, all the nuts and seeds, all the snack food world, fried chicken, French fries. All these applications are perfect for our O-Salt and much more, while you deliver the same taste, easy operation, and no additional cost and lower sodium. It's like a win-win-win all the way through, which asks the question, why not? And the answer is yes. People are very, very much interested in it. And here you can see a couple of applications that we already created. The popcorn, microwave popcorn that we are already very close to launch with a very significant player. The nuts that we are very close to launch with a significant player. All these applications are working very, very well with our innovative ingredient. And then it continues to the O-Spice. So you can take with the spices are all powders, very, very challenging to handle. Taking the spices, running them through our micro milling solution, deliver to you a reduced raw material product cost. You don't have the messy powders. There's no fillers, a cleaner label, a parity cost or lower cost, and that's the applications that you see here are just part of few of the applications that can go and come to life in the market. So where are we with our go-to-market? We have on the left, see the B2C products that we did just to show that the consumer understand the technology, understand the milling that we are delivering with our product, the lower sugar, the lower salt, and it's selling very well already. And then we are at phase 2 and phase 3. We will sell it as an ingredient in buckets, in barrels, and we will sell it as lines that will be installed in factories, where we will get licensing for every pound or every kilogram that will be manufactured. We are we are now in market with the B2C product, and we signed a couple of strategic agreement with leading players, mostly in North America, but not only, around the world, that are already tested the product, proved that it works with their applications, and now we are planning with them the launch and the go-to-market strategy. You can see here our details. Guy is the founder. He's on the line here if anyone have a question. But you can see the details. You can take a screenshot, send an email, and we will follow up with you for any additional question. And with that said, I will thank you for the time.
Muchas gracias, Meiki, por tu presentación. Y finalmente le damos la palabra a Ron Livni de la empresa Resugar. Ron, la palabra es tuya.
Yes, hello. Second. Can you all see my screen? One second.
Not yet. Not yet.
Can you see the screen?
Not yet, Ron. No.
Not yet?
No.
Not yet.
There
No.
we go.
Yeah.
Okay. So nice to meet you. Hello, I'm Ron Livni, for the co-founder of Resugar. And I want to explain a bit shortly, in brief, in a high level, what is Resugar exactly. So first of all, we have a scientist on our group, on our team. We have Dr. Svieli, he's our CTO, he's a chemist. He has a very long and very vast experience in the industry, in other flavors and fragrances houses. Also, Professor Yuval Shoam from the Technion, specialized in enzymes and sugar. Dr. Ben Shushan, which he is an expert on the taste receptors and its in their structure. And also we have Smadar Raz, who's chief product, and Victoria, which also chief flavors. And of course we have many more teams, but this is in a very high level. So I want to talk a bit, why is it so hard to replace sugar? We all know that sugar needs to be reduced, but why is it so hard to replace it? So first of all is the sweetness profile. The sweetness profile of sucrose is something that we are hardwired to experience. It has a very specific onset, very specific potentials, and also the timing when it's subsidized is very, very specific. It doesn't have any lingering, any aftertaste, or any of the other sugar substitutes. It's very, very unique. All the other sugar substitutes that we know, like stevia, sucralose, erythritol, all the others, they have way different sweetness profile. And this is very, very important because it gets immediately detected by the consumer, and they don't like it. Consumers don't like the taste of sugar replacement. And the other one is also very important, is the functional properties. Not many people know that, but in the industry, sugar does many more than just a sweetening agent. This is what gives the product this texture, its volume, its caramelization, its color, the shelf life, the freezing point and pressure in ice cream. That's what keeps it from not becoming a block of ice. All of that is made by sugar. And all the other sugar substitutes that are in the market for many years, they cannot do it. And this is another reason why they are failing to reduce sugar. Also, of course, pricing, which we have to address as well. We know from conducting with the customers, with the food and industry, tier one companies, that everybody's price sensitive, and you cannot, and sugar, of course, is one of the cheapest ingredients in the industry. So you also have to take that into consideration as well. On top of that, also the sugar substitutes are being attacked on almost a daily basis, also from the scientific culture, so to speak, and that makes also consumers avoid artificial sweeteners. Consumers nowadays are looking for the label, they're looking on the ingredients. If they see erythritol or E numbers or any kind of sucralose and all that stuff, they tend to avoid it. That also comes from the regulatory side. They are pushing away sugar with sometimes with warning stickers on the front of the pack labels, but sometimes also they are trying to even avoid using sugar substitutes. There are a few countries in the US that already started employing that as well. So what is Resugar? What do we do? So we have a solution that replaces sugar on a one-to-one basis or one-to-one ratio, meaning that the first and perhaps the foremost important benefit is that the manufacturer don't need to change its recipe. If he has a recipe of 20 grams, 20% sugar, he just uses 20% of Resugar instead. He gets the same product, the same end product in terms of taste and texture, but with a significant reduction in the sugar content. And this is a very key issue. First of all, taste is king, like it was mentioned here earlier. If you change the product in any way, in the sweetness or the texture or even its appearance, the consumer don't like it. So the product remains the same. But another key issue here is that the manufacturer don't need to make any changes. Working with companies, we understood from the very early stages that they don't want to change the formulation. They don't want to change 20 years recipe that they have on a product. They want to keep going, but they also want to reduce the sugar. So we are offering here a reduction on a one-to-one basis. We do so with a very simple and clean label solution. Clean label meaning that the ingredients label is not contaminated, so to speak, with artificial sweeteners or E numbers of any kind. Basically, we do that with dietary fibers, sugar, and natural flavors. So we can reduce the sugar content by 50 to even 70% in various applications. And I will get to that in a moment, but in various applications, and the label will only say dietary fiber, sugar, and natural flavors. Very clean label. Okay, our technology. So in a very high level. So we have the taste buds on our tongues and pretty much along the GI tract. We have taste receptors, and our technology enabled the sugar to pass, you can say, more fluently to receptor. In other words, we have molecules that can bind to the taste receptor in a way that it modulates temporarily and enable more sucrose to come in, and therefore you feel more sweetness. It means that with the same amount, with some amount of sugar, you feel almost twice as sweetness. And these are very specific molecules that we identified, and we know how to bind them to the receptor. We know how they work. We know how the efficient ratios and efficient doses. And of course, they're all approved. They're all FEMA GRAS, and they all have EFSA approvals. They're already in the market, but we have the know-how how to you can say modify the taste receptor in a way that you feel much more sweetness. So with a small content of sugar, you feel almost twice as the sweetness. Also, unlike artificial sweeteners, our solution is 100% biodegradable. I'm sure you're probably aware that in recent years, we have known that many artificial sweeteners appear in public places like ocean, drinking water, rivers, and so forth. So currently we are started commercializing, you can say, like a year or so ago. First of all, in the Israeli market with ice cream, was product of the year by Nestle. Also in the US by Sprouts, it's gummies, nutraceuticals gummies. Also with another tier 1 company in Europe, a dairy company, which I cannot disclose at the moment. And also with Nuva. And I have to say that, of course, besides those companies, we are already having ongoing POC with many companies in the US and in Europe on various applications. We have the know-how how to adapt our solution to many of the categories in the food and beverage industry. As I mentioned earlier, a lot of the solutions, a lot of the sugar substitutes are not able to replace sugar in terms of functionality. In the facility line, in the assembly line, they are not working. And our solution can work and works really good in various applications. Also chocolate, confectionery, cereals, jams, food preparations, and protein bars, and many more.
1 minute.
1 minute, okay. So get right to the point. I'll give you one example. This is you could say an example of a tablet, so to speak, that we receive for customers. They replaced the resugar and a 1-to-1 ratio in the lab, trying our solution, and basically they found no difference between sugar and resugar. And this is great because this is the typical reaction that we receive, and this is exactly what we're aiming for. They're not experiencing any changes. For them, it's the same, and in terms of taste, texture, and everything else. And so that's what keeps us apart from other competitors. We do know how to replace sugar that will be the same sweetness profile and intensity of sugar, same very similar profile to sugar, but the caloric value will be half of sugar, and also it has fiber, so it's also high fiber content as well. So okay, so we're out of time, but basically we also have the same solution in beverage, a bit modified, but the principle is the same. And in beverages, we also have the ability to reduce it by 50 to 100%. We can also reduce 100% sugar, again, without using any artificial sweeteners of any kind. And thank you very much for listening.
Muchas gracias, Ron. A continuación pasaremos un espacio de preguntas y respuestas para las empresas participantes. Por favor, si tienen alguna pregunta, puede dejarla en el chat de la reunión para que podamos plantearlas a nuestros invitados. Por el momento ya tenemos algunas que nos han hecho llegar. La primera pregunta es para Michael de Blue Tree y la pregunta es: ¿ustedes han probado su plataforma con bebidas fermentadas o bebidas a base de plantas? Y si lo han hecho, ¿cuál ha sido el resultado en términos de preservación del sabor y el contenido de azúcar? Michael,
Yes.
did you hear the question in English?
It was in Spanish. I didn't hear the English
Yes.
one.
Okay, I will say you the question in English. Have you tasted your platform with plant-based or fermented beverage? And if so, what were the results in terms of flavor, preservation, and sugar content?
Plant-based, meaning,
Beverage.
sorry?
Plant-based beverage.
Plant-based beverages, I assume you're talking about oat milk or soy milk or things like that.
Right.
We haven't tested them, although the principle is the same. The only difference is that it's very similar to tea in a way, meaning you can add a lot of water in order to dilute the content and control the sugar levels. Basically, it's very similar to all other natural beverages. We can reduce them theoretically, but we haven't tested them already. Our main focus is all fruit juices right now and dairy, of course.
Okay, thank you. Muchas gracias, Michael. Tenemos otra pregunta para Otaste. La pregunta es: ¿qué tipo de clientes están buscando? ¿Distribuidores o clientes finales?
So can you translate it?
Okay. Who are their target clients? Are they looking for distributors or final clients?
So we are looking for manufacturers of a product that contain sugar, salt, or spices, and are looking to have a reduction in either of them, achieving the same taste, similar cost, same cost, and clean label that can be delivered to the consumer. Now, it could be either a brand that have a factory or a private. We find that private label are very interested to create better for your product that can win against the big brand. So we are talking both to significant brands, and we are speaking to significant retailers who are looking for the private label to have a consumer proposition that is winning against the big brands. These are the significant two pillars that we are focusing on.
Perfect, thank you. Tenemos otra pregunta para Resugar. We have a question for Resugar. Is Resugar marketed in Argentina?
I didn't hear the English version of the question.
It's Resugar marketed in Argentina. Are you selling the product in Argentina right now?
So no, we are not yet selling in Argentina. However, we do have a bit. We started engaging you can say, LATAM region, but no, we are officially not. Even though we are working with facilities in Europe and also in the US that can supply to the South America, but no, we haven't yet sold in Argentina.
Okay, thank you. And we have a question for BT Suite. The question is, how does Cambia interact with other fibers and sweeteners in complex formulation like bakery products or dairy desserts?
Hi, my name is Alina. I'm a BT Suite technologist, so I will answer this question. Thank you for question. It depends on the recipe. So inside Cambia, there are fibers, dietary fibers. So it depends on the recipe. If there are already fibers in the recipe, we can substitute also these fibers with the Cambia, using Cambia. So the recipe, if there are already fibers, so the recipe probably needs some changes, but not a lot, because Cambia is one-to-one with sugar. It's also volume sweetener, like sugar is. So yes, it depends on the recipe, and we are ready to help to change the recipe for using Cambia.
Perfect. Thank you, Alina. And we have a question for Landa Labs. The question is, how does your material science approach enhance the viability or stability of nutrients in food?
Sorry, can you repeat it, please?
Yes. How does your material science approach enhance the viability or stability of nutrients in food?
So basically, our solution is based on pure sodium chloride. So it has the same effect as normal salt, so it doesn't change any of those parameters. The thing is, you can achieve the same flavor while using less salt. So it's the same effect, of taking your corn product, use 50% of the sodium, and this is the same effect that it has.
Okay, thank you. And the last question is for Resugar. What is the labeling declaration for sugar replacements?
So, okay, like I mentioned in the pitch earlier, so on the label of the manufacturer, of the food and beverage manufacturer, will appear only 3 ingredients, which are dietary fiber, sugar, and natural flavors. So as we're reducing the sugar, so still sugar will appear. So it will be, again, dietary fiber, sugar, and natural flavors. That's it.
Perfect, thank you. Y bueno, con esto damos por finalizada la sesión de preguntas y nuestra presentación de tecnologías israelíes para la reducción de azúcar y sodio en la industria alimentaria. Recuerden que si están interesados en contactar a alguna de las empresas, Nuestros equipos en Colombia, Chile, Argentina y España están disponibles para apoyarlos y agendar una reunión para que puedan conocer con más detalle las tecnologías. La información de contacto de nosotros la pueden encontrar en el chat de la reunión. Muchas gracias por acompañarnos. Thank you very much.
Gracias a todos, que tengan buen día.
Have a good day. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, guys. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.